Hello again, it's a Friday, so that means it's Friday ParaVlog time again. Now this week I said I'd show you a photograph. It's not actually a photograph, it's a still which I took from my Nightvision camcorder footage while we were at the Ely Museum. And the Ely Museum itself used to be an old prison. Lots of criminals and convicts, people who were convicted, would all be sent to this prison. Lots of people from around the area of Ely anyway, they'd all be sent to this prison pending trial. They would be condemned here before they would go and have their trial and then be sentenced to whatever their sentence would be. A lot of them were sentenced to death by hanging, and a lot of them were also exported out of the country across to Australia, I believe. There's actually a clip which I'll be putting on YouTube very shortly, which shows Museum Curator Philip showing us around the museum on the night. I filmed him going around showing us and talking us through the place before we started the investigation, and I never put that footage out there, but I decided I'd upload the full clip from that. No editing whatsoever, it is as it was on the night. There's two actually, because we had two cameras going at the time. So I'll put both of them and make them both public. So you can, if you want to know a little bit about the museum, please do watch those videos, because Philip does a brilliant tour, or he did for us, around the museum, telling us about its past history. And its history was gloomy. As most of these places were pretty gloomy, considering it was a prison and the dark ages that it existed in. And as you can imagine, the conditions there were very poor, because they had no, what's the word? They had no human rights in place back then. They didn't have certain comforts and things like that prisoners have, and luxuries and things like prisoners have today. They'd all be basically thrown in this prison and tied to the wall, locked, chained to the wall. They'd be given minimum food rationings, probably a bit of bread and some water, and they'd all be mixed together, women, children and men. They wouldn't be separated, they'd all be in together. So you could imagine how awful it probably was for a lot of them. And a lot of the prisoners were probably innocent victims as well, probably hadn't even done anything wrong. But yeah, so anyway, take a look at this still from my Nightvision camcorder. I was basically in this cell on my own. It was just, the night consisted of me and Laura on our own investigating this building, and we had two staff in the building as well from the museum, but we were on our own investigating the whole entire night, and we had no contaminations. But while I was in the cell on my own, Laura was in one of the other rooms of the museum. But yes, while I was in this cell on my own, I was just doing a little pan around of the room. I had a laser grid set up, and you can see that on the picture. In the cell itself, there's two mannequins. There's the main one, which you can see in this image, and he's got all of his clothes on and a hat and whatnot. You can see him clearly. But if you look just past his shoulder, it's his left one. As you're looking at me now, if you look past this shoulder, there's a figure at the back of him. Now what I can see looks like it's either a little boy or a man. I say either a little boy or a man. I mean, if it was based on size, the size of its appearance, you would say little boy. But because we don't know how these things might appear, I can't say it's a boy or a man. But what I can see is he's wearing like a dark coloured jacket, and it doesn't look like a posh one. It looks like a middle class sort of jacket, the sort of clothing they would have worn around that era in the 1800s. And he's got a white shirt on, and he's wearing what looks like a dark cap as well, which again would have been the type of clothing they would have worn back in that day. It's almost like a mirror image of the mannequin itself. So, you know, there could be explanations to this, that it could be some sort of a reflection or a light refraction. It could even be some markings in the wall creating the illusion of this figure. But it doesn't explain how clear it is. Well, I can see it clearly. You have a look and see if you can see it clearly. Yeah, so that was that. Pretty interesting. We didn't see this figure on the night. We didn't visually witness any figures as such on the night, but we did have some eerie experiences there. We got a lot, we yielded up a lot of results actually. We got really interesting responses come through on the Echovox, making sense of the location. I think it said bread and water on one of them. We even mentioned the word prison. It said, I think it said something like wrongly convicted or something along those lines. It all made sense and tied in with that prison, the things that were coming through on the Echovox. Also, we did a PSB 11 session and we got interesting things coming through on there. I believe it said Ely. When I said, where are we? It said Ely. And also it said Laura's name, if I remember right. But I'm not showing those clips on this vlog today because I'm limited for time this week. But if you would like to watch the full documentary, you can find this on the YouTube channel. I think it's titled Ely Museum. So if you find that, there's a full documentary and it shows our whole experience on the night from beginning to end, and it shows everything we got and yielded on the night. You'll have to excuse the footage. It's not the greatest, but it's viewable and it shows the results we got on the night. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. Next week I'm going to be doing a review of Drakelow Tunnels again, because we are going there to investigate again with Paranormal Eye UK and her Nikki primarily and her team. And I'm taking a cameraman with me, and we're basically going to go around on the night filming Nikki and her team, and I'll probably be in on it as well, and also the guests. There's going to be lots of guests there on the night as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, but I thought in the lead up to that I'd do a vlog again on Drakelow Tunnels and some of the past results we got there. If you haven't watched these before, you'll not know that I've been there before, but if you have, I've been there 3 times now and made a full documentary of it. And with each time I went, it got scarier and scarier. And the first time I went, didn't hear anything or see anything as such, although I say that I did hear something and we did get an EVP the first time, but it wasn't that eerie. The place is eerie, yes, to walk around because it's dark and it's big and everything, but it wasn't scary. Whereas the next couple of times, each time I went, it got scarier and scarier, because each time I went, I started to hear more and see more, and when I came away from the place, I was actually having visions, if you like, of things. I actually had some experiences at home which could be related to Drakelow Tunnels. Might sound crazy, or like I should be on meds, or like I've got something wrong with me, but I haven't. I can assure you I haven't got any conditions whatsoever. I don't see things, blah blah blah. I only see what's there. And the reason I do this is because if you watch some of my previous vlogs, I've actually seen and had a lot of sightings as such and experiences over the years, and I only just started investigating it about 3 years ago properly, just to kind of get an insight into it and try and discover what these things are, if they are anything, or if it is just us as humans. Imagine, you know, our imaginations running wild and us seeing things, hallucinating or whatever. But yeah, so anyway, look out for next week's vlog, and thank you for watching this week's vlog. Please do comment, subscribe, like, share, whatever. Until the next, bye for now.